Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing Jazmine Sullivan's Heauxtales album because I asked you guys which album this or Justin Bieber The Journals album, and this is what you guys picked. And so the first track is going to be Body's intro. So I mean, I think it's decent for an opener. Track 2 is Antoinette's Tell, and I really like this one. I do. It's just the interlude moment, which are all over the album and I feel like go well in the sequencing. And it's basically just saying that men, they don't like when women have agency over their bodies and who they sleep with and all these other things, and just it's very contradictory and everything like that. You know, a man goes and does what he wants, sleep with whoever they want, like, oh, like all the other men are hyping him up, a woman does the same, it's oh a slut, da da da. So it's kind of just talking about how contradictory men can be. Track 3 is going to be Pick Up Your Feelings. I think this is a great R&B song. Her vocals on here are fantastic. Those Grammys she got were deserved, and so I like the lyrics on here too. She said that I've been acting different, yeah, funny how I finally flipped the script on you. When you're the one who's double dipping, yeah, you're so sloppy how I caught you slipping up. You're off the leash, run me my keys, no more popping to hit it, yeah, I ain't even got mouths to trip on you. Like, then the pre-chorus is really good too. I love the chorus. Like, yeah, this is a great song. I think that it's going to age favorably when it comes to talking about R&B songs of the 2020s and in general. Like, she absolutely killed it. She really did. Track number 4 is Ari's Tale, and so yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, talking about I was willing to ruin my career all because of good sex. Like, that's kind of crazy. I will say that. I do wonder if some of these are their actual real stories or if it's stuff that Jazmine's went through and she's like, hey, do this interlude for me. So I kind of am thinking that throughout this album, but it basically sets up the next track. Track 5 is Put It Down. So yeah, it's basically what they're talking about in the last song. Like, he's not shit, but you know, the sex is good and anything like that. So I'm kind of willing to overlook his flaws, and that's what the whole song is. I think it's catchy. I think it has a good chorus, so I like the song. Track number 6 is On It featuring Ari Lennox, and it's pretty straightforward. It's just like a sexual song and everything like that, kind of talking about what they want in regards to that. I mean, I thought this was a good song. I thought that they both sounded great on it, especially that little ending part. Good lyrics on here as well, so I enjoyed it. Track 7 is Donna's Tale, and she's basically just saying, these women are saying they don't trick on men, blah blah blah, but basically that they kind of are doing it and it's something that she's done, and you know, you're gonna do it to get what you want and everything, and so that's kind of what it is, setting it up for the next song. Track number 8 is Price Tags featuring Anderson .Paak. This is my favorite song on the album. Okay, I love it, and I put my cousin onto it and she was driving us around playing it, and yeah, I love the production, just everything about it. Her vocals 8, and so yeah, it's kind of set up by the last song, and so she's basically saying like, hey, like if you want to have sex with me and like spend time with me and all these things, like I'm gonna have to get something out of that, something out of return on that, like, you know, buy me things and everything like that. So that's kind of what the song is. And so I mean, my take on that whole thing is like, there's plenty of people who do that, that's the arrangement, that's the understanding, and I think like, what's the problem with it if it's something that both people like agree upon and everything like that? So that's kind of like, I guess, how I see that part and everything. I think it's a catchy song. I love Anderson .Paak's verse. I love his verse. I think he did great. Like I said, I love the production, I love her vocals. Like, this is just the best song. Track 9 is Rashida's Tell, and so she's kind of telling the story. Basically, she was with somebody, she cheated, the relationship ended, she regretted it and everything like that, and said, I can take responsibility for it. And it's like, I hope so, you fucked it up. And she was saying she felt bad because she was always the one who got cheated on, and she knows that pain, and to do that to somebody else, like somebody that she really loved and someone who loved her and everything like that, like it was something that hurt her and everything, and she owns up into it. Track 10 is Lost One, so it continues on from the interlude, and she's basically saying, you know what it's like to lose someone who was important to you, someone who's good to you, and kind of how do you cope with that pain, and it's selfish kind of that you don't want them to be doing better without you. And so overall, this song, it's serviceable, it's fine. I think production wise, it doesn't stand out to me like some of the other songs, especially coming off something Price Tag, you know, that being pretty close in the track listing and everything like that. So production wise, it doesn't really stand out to me. I mean, I thought that the vocals were good, I get the lyrical sentiment, I don't know, I just think in comparison, it kind of bores me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, there's just so many other songs in this album that are better, and that's how I see it. So when I listen to this album, I haven't really skipped it and everything like that, but I don't know, I probably will in the future, but that's just my take on it. Track number 11 is going to be Precious Tale. So she's basically saying like, money is something that's really important to me due to how I grew up. I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't have any, who's not going to contribute, and yeah, just because I want to be doing well in life and all those things, which of course ties into track number 12, The Other Side. And she's just saying, look, I have dreams, I have ambitions that I'm trying to achieve, and you know, there's going to be difficulty within that, discussing how, you know, it was growing up and everything like that, and I can't wait to be on the other side of all these hopes and to finally make it, essentially. And I think it's a nice song. I like the productions, I like the vocals, I like the lyrical sentiment. I also really like the productions on this and her vocals at the end and how it suits her and the song. I think that it's something that works out really nicely, and at the end she's saying like, I want all these lavish things, these big things, so everything ties in nicely. I think it's a good record. Track 13 is Amanda's Tell, and she's basically just saying, feeling like can't compete with these other women, and knowing basically that who she is, like a lot of men just don't want to accept that and everything, and just saying like she found worth in sex. And in one way it's empowering because like you're gonna keep coming back to me for something, so I'm doing something right. But just knowing it's not because of who she is alone, her personality, it's a tough pill to swallow. The 14th and final track is Girl Like Me featuring her, and so basically on the song it's kind of talking about insecurities and like why does this man not want me and all those things, and like I'm gonna start switching up and having no emotion in it because I put emotion into it, and you know, it was kind of destroying me and everything like that. So there was kind of that, and also just talking about why. So something about the song kind of just feels pick me to me a little bit, just talking about like, oh, like all these hoes be winning and they'll hope for a girl like me, how come they win, like how come they're successful and I'm not. And I just don't kind of like that, you know, putting it on other women instead of more so keeping the energy for the men, which like I kind of said they do on this record, and talk about how these men aren't shit and everything like that. And so yeah, I think that's kind of the disconnect for me on this record. And so I just don't care for pick me woman and everything like that. Not saying that she is one and everything of that, of course, like there's multiple perspectives on the record, but I just don't care for pick me women who always take a man's side and are always talking about, you know, men are so much better than women and talking down on other women and everything like that. Like I said, there's a part of this record that does that, but there's multiple perspectives. So I think that's kind of the thing and everything about this record. And she's saying, you know, you're gonna make a whole out of me, like I'm about to just disconnect from this emotionally because it is having strife on me. So you can see those perspectives for it. Sure, I think that her and Jazmine Sullivan sound good on this record. I just don't have it saved kind of for those reasons, and you know, it's not really my cup of tea in comparison to the other records, but I don't think that it's bad. Okay, so in terms of my favorite songs in this album, my number one song has to be Price Tags. I'm also very fond of Pick Up Your Feelings, of course, and then my last song that I would probably shout out today is Put It Down. I think that those are going to be my top three as of now. My overall thoughts on this album, I really enjoy it. I think it was one of the best albums of that year. I definitely had to have put it on my list or mentioned it in some fashion. I know I was really going up for Price Tags when I first heard the album, and I still love the song. And so I think that this album is going to age favorably as we kind of look down on it at the end of this decade and everything, just because I feel like it was an accurate representation of the time. I feel like the production is good for the time. I really like her vocals on here as well, and I think that, you know, there's so much with subject matter, and I really appreciate the interludes and what they add to the record and how it transitions into the next song. And I think there's a good amount of substance and depth with this album, so I just appreciated that. I really like the productions on here, so I enjoy it. I do. I just think Jazmine Sullivan is a supremely talented singer. I need to go finish out her discography and everything. This is the only full album that I've heard from her, but I really enjoy this and I'd recommend it to anyone. But down below in the comments, please let me know what you think. I would love to know you guys' favorite songs. Do you have any personal connections to this album yourself? Is there any song that you really relate to? Any song that got you through a hard time? Any insights on the song that you would like to share? Definitely let me know down below in the comments and your take on this album. And so that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it. If you did enjoy it, you can hit the like button right below this video. It does help me out a lot in YouTube algorithm. I would very much appreciate it, and it just lets me know that you guys enjoy what I'm doing and you want to see similar stuff to this. And so you can also hit the bell next to that, and that is going to give you a notification every single time I post a new video, so you do not miss when new videos come out. And also, like I was kind of saying, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this album and everything. We can kind of continue the conversation. That also helps me as well. And the first link down below in the description will be my second YouTube channel. So as always, thank you guys so much for the support. I believe now we're at 11.2k subscribers, so feeling very thankful for that. And Dance Those Moments I Think About Daily Part 5 is on the way. I am working on it, and I hope to have it out soon for you guys. And so some stuff that I make on there, my recent videos include me talking about Celine Dion's I Am Celine Dion documentary and giving my take on it. I did Artist Battle, Justin Timberlake versus Usher, and I talked about who had the better career in albums in my opinion. Discuss artistic maturity and why it's necessary for any artists who don't like their own albums and the reason behind that. My take on Rolling Stone's 50 terrible songs list. And I have a series called Generational Hate where I talk about people that I hate, you know, in the music industry mainly, and why, and their controversies. And so my last episode was on Neo and his Fedora collection, and it was a lot of fun to do, and so you guys can check that out. Billboard Hot 100 chart review, and I talked about which the one song is better, ranking Ariana Grande's closing tracks, who has the best discography out of Janet, Mariah, Madonna, and Beyonce, and a bunch of stuff. So I made a lot of stuff and I post them there all the time. So if you would like to see more of me and you would like to see some shorter form content talking about trending topics in pop culture, then check out that channel. I also like to talk about other things, like I already talked about. Dance Song is one of my favorite shows of all time, so I have a bunch of videos on that. I did a Sex and the City tier list, probably about to talk about the new Grey's Anatomy episode that I just watched. So I like to do a bunch of different stuff in regards to that. I like sports, and if I was in this video, which I'm not, I would, you know, show behind me my Angel Reese plaque, and I say you guys hate on her too much, my Patrick Mahomes plaque that I have, Sam Donald jersey, my Jordan Love jersey. So it's something I like to talk about. I'm probably going to start talking about the WNBA next season and doing game reviews. So that should be coming up. And yeah, a plethora of things. So subscribe to see more on that channel. It will be the first link below as mentioned. Also gonna have social media, so I am on Twitter at the Anastasia25. If you're on Blue Sky, it's the same at the Anastasia25 if you want to see me on there. My backup is at AnastasiaW18, so you guys can definitely check that out. And so I'm also going to have Instagram, anastasia.womack. My TikTok is the same, anastasia.womack, and a lot of stuff that you see on my second channel is also on my TikTok, so you guys can check me on there. Second is going to be Anastasia250. I believe there might be an underscore in there. My Dance Moms account is going to be the Anastasia25 underscore, so you guys can check that out. And my Mariah Carey account is Mariah Carey's Internet. I have Spotify, Anastasia.womack. I have Airbuds, I believe that's Anastasia.155. I didn't pick my username, they picked that for me. Free Palestine is something you must educate ourselves on. Fuck Trump, as I always say. You guys know I don't support any kind of bigotry on my channel, and I'll never support, you know, people being homophobic or transphobic or racist or any of those things. And so, you know, that is not my channel. If you believe in those things, then unsubscribe from me. This channel is supposed to be inclusive and progressive, and that is, you know, my goal. And so yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next